What is good, my Impact Wrestling fam? Welcome to another edition of TNAIW Reaction, right here on the TNAIW channel, the hidden gem of the Impact Wrestling community. My name is Geoff. What's up, guys? I hope you're all doing well. Coming to an episode of not too much, but we have a lot to talk about regardless. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna talk about hidden gems. We're gonna talk about the news that was this week in Impact Wrestling / TNA as we head into TNA rebranding and Hard to Kill. Talk about some fun things that were in the sheets with Moose and PCO. And then we'll hit up all your comments, which of course I appreciate, guys. You know what this is. One fan at a time, one friend at a time. I thank you, those who rock with us here, that hit like, that hit subscribe, that hit retweet, repost. I appreciate you guys. But this is at the end of the day about shooting the shit, having fun, building some camaraderie, and building this Impact Wrestling community. So if you don't like what you hear, like what you see, or you don't like me spreading the Christmas cheer, that's fine, man. Go find some other Impact Wrestling content creators, because that's what this is all about, okay? Tons of them out there that all do a great job. Check them out. Maybe some of them will just sit here and look at you when they talk, instead of me and on that Stevie Wonder grind, man. But we're going to have some... We're going to have some fun. We got some gimmicks along the way, including LL TNA coming Tuesday. It's going to be our last one for this season. Johnny, myself, and Lucha. Lucha, who we'll see in the Atlanta match that airs on Hidden Gems. We'll talk about that. But we're going to do the Hall of Flame, the 2023 class of the Hall of Flame. So check that out. And as I said, I was trying to allude to in a transition, we got some gimmicks. We're going to open this book that I found in my garage. I'm looking for some Christmas decorations. And if I wish I do. I have it marked because it's fitting. As he returns, that Snake Eyes that I point out Okada there. But check out the Hall of Flame. On LOL TNA, and then Go-Go Power Rankings should be back in the new year. Make sure you talk and say hello to all of them, or stop and say hello to all of them. But yeah, man, we got a lot of fun stuff coming on, including Nonsensies. Christmas Eve coming up, New Year's Eve as well, so Sunday. Don't know what we're going to be doing, but either way, I want to stop in and say hi to you guys, including today, as we talk about hidden gems and everything else. So let's get right into that. Without further ado, we're going straight up into Chicago. And it's Alan Angels versus Samurai Del Sol, formerly known as Kalisto. And he's going to be picking up the win. And, yeah, you know, it's hard to, when I was talking about this or when I was writing these down to talk about, it's a recap. There's things that happen out of order. There happen, you know, obviously, that have no continuity today. We can find little pieces, and I'll try to talk about them, but good match, and I just don't want to say good match. As far as the individuals, maybe we'll see Samurai Del Sol around in TNA. Alan Angels, you know, I don't want to say obviously, because I don't know. It seems like a lot of moving parts right now, but I'm going to say that more than likely Alan Angels is still there. I think they invested some time into him this year between the design and then just going solo. The Celestial one thing, I still think, you know, I do believe in him. I still think he needs that next whatever it is. Think he would look good with a valet. I think he could pull that off. I don't know who, and not based on real life. So we'll try to figure it out. Maybe that's not even the route. But either way, I feel his trajectory in 2024 looking good. Make sure you vote on the Nonsense if it's not closed already for Baby New Year. Could be Alan Angels. But either way, Samurai Del Sol picking up the win here. And we move on to Atlanta, where we did have a Lucha sighting in the crowd. But it's MK Ultra pre-tag titles facing the Shawtourage and Victorious in that. Don't really have much on it yet again because it's good match, right? From out of the timeline. And that's one thing I was wondering, by the way, and on a side note, but if anyone wants to get to me about it, are these matches that popped up as digital media content before and now they're just putting them together, or were these matches just literally in a vault that they haven't used yet? I didn't do any research, per usual. But but just something I was wondering, so let me know. But either way, yes, MK Ultra picking up the win over the Shawtourage. Then we go to Columbus, and we got PCO, who's victorious over Diener in a street fight. Talk about PCO in a little bit with a goated comment of the year. But he beats Diener here with the help of OVE. I was wondering, I know we'll talk about it in comments, so I don't want to jump too far ahead, but I will allude, or at least foreshadow. OVE, something with all the announcements we're getting. I was calling it the 25 Days of Christmas. I mean, we're getting something after something, kind of build that buzz. We didn't get those big free agents. Maybe there's still some out there. But I think they're doing the right thing by, keeping us interested. Had to get rid of the Velvets, sorry. But keep us interested daily as we head into Hard to Kill with no new content. Obviously, just mentioned, I don't even know when most of these are from. But I thought that was pretty cool. And I don't know, doing whatever. Oh yeah, OV. Same. Okay. So as they announce little things here, we can kind of see the writing on the wall, what they're doing. I keep mentioning Sami as somebody. We'll talk about it in the comments. But it was cool seeing OVE here and what possibly could be a return for TNA. I don't know. That's just me spewing that out. That's no one else, but maybe manifesting. But those are the kind of signings I would like them to make. What I was getting at. Would like them to make to, I don't want to say make up for the lack of big signings, but you guys get me. Insert nicer way of saying that here. Okay. Gimmicks. Why is it on my lap? I for whatever I could bust it out, man. All right, anyways. Yeah, and then Diener as well. I hope, I think I said this last week as well. I'm hoping to see an evolution of Diener going into TNA. What that is, I don't know. Is it a hard worker? I wouldn't mind it. But anyways. Next up, they're going to announce El Hijo del Vikingo. That guy. He'll be at Hard to Kill. Still free agent, only with AAA. I don't know that. Someone enlighten me on that as well. But I know everyone's excited about it. So I will be intuitively excited about it. I liked when he was here last time, but as far as, am I going to sit here and say, oh my God, this is, and lie to you? I haven't seen his work, but when he was an Impact, 92 minutes of 86 to 92. But I like what I saw. I get what he is. He fits in the X division. He's facing Saban and Kushida, newly signed Kushida. We'll talk about that. I could see him winning. It just feels like a very impacty under Anthem move to, if it's a Leo Rush from New Japan or wherever he was, maybe he was. It was a Frankie from AEW at the time. Just giving the belt to somebody for a little run to get some noise. Now, once again, as I was trying to say, we're giving us a little something to amount to a bigger thing to take away from not getting those big fish. I get that, but I hope it's the right little things. And I don't know if giving our belt to someone that's not going to be around on the regular is the right start. But I can see the allure of him being the first TNA X Division champion. I don't know. What do you guys think? Either way, I'm anticipating this, and as long as he's in that division, he defines that division, so I like that. Defines that division. Just his total nonstop action wrestling style. So, anyways, speaking of that, we're hitting up the total nonstop assassin next. It's Ospreay, and he's talking TNA and Josh. I love this video package. I think this is the same one that aired before. Either way, it's really good, and it hypes up the match. Now, we'll talk about that in comments. I won't jump too far ahead, but we will foreshadow. We debated it last week, Lucha and I, but Josh versus Ospreay 2, who takes that pin? It's interesting. But either way, it adds to the hype. And is he at Hard to Kill? No, but is he at Snake Eyes, like Okada? Yeah, man. So it's heading TNA in the right direction with the right buzz, with the right excitement. You know, we're once again relying on other people's talents. So there lies the point of view aspect of this. But I know a comment hits on that. So many you guys are great at your comments. Thank you. Moving on, though, we're going to Toronto, where Dango and Bravo are taking on Dreamer and Decker. And, you know, guys, to be honest with you, I thought this was a fun match. There's some sloppiness in there, sure. The nut shot, grade A. Loved that. Love obviously, this was right after Funk's passing, so love the homages to Terry Funk. You know, love Dango. Hope we see more of him in the coming year with TNA. I think he thrives in that vibe. I even think Bravo, even though I would like Bravo with maybe Jake something. Because I don't think Dango needs somebody, but now he's got a whole group. I don't know if that's going to continue again. Kind of like I said with Alan Angels. It's nothing against the talent. It's just who knows what's going to happen. But I would like to see more of Dango, and I think he fits really well with the vibe I hope we're going for. But they're picking up the loss to Dreamer and Decker. Now, Decker is someone... Dreamer, first of all, is still the DMC, so we'll give him that there. As Lucha pointed out, his longest reigning championship in his decades. I don't even know. I won't time him, but decades of wrestling. And he's teaming with Channing Decker. Now, I know there was a lot of people in the comments excited about Decker and sign Decker for TNA. And you guys this is one of those things, again, where you're going to have to enlighten me and smarten me up. Rather be honest and about it. Not too familiar with his work. I know I saw him a couple times there. There's been signs for him, which seems the hometown art is behind him, which is cool. But I don't know enough. And I don't want to get, not that I don't want to get hyped behind him if he does come. I hope he does. And I'll give him, every ounce of, give a fuck? I don't know. Every ounce of just chance. I'm not going to write someone off based on opinion of others. But my point is acknowledge me. It's coming back to me again. Enlighten me on Channing Decker. Because what I was trying to get to, happy holidays, everyone, is that it feels like the similar buzz with Anthony Green, where everyone's like, oh, he's going to be a star. And was that the people behind him, or is that reality? I don't know. And that's nothing, I don't really know if he's still doing stuff, but you get what I'm saying, right? Anyways, all right. Next is an Okada promo, vignette, whatever. And he's talking TNA. And I love that they show the Pope there. Because one, I love the Pope. Two, we must recognize, and I've said this before when everyone was losing their mind over his comments over Impact Wrestling. And I know that the sheets got to get their clicks. But he was saying it because he was selling a match. He said before how, his TNA time was important for him. And honestly, that wasn't the reason the biggest reason New Japan had an issue with TNA. I believe it was actually the British invasion and the Team 3D switching the belts without talking to New Japan first, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure there were other things as well where they didn't trust him. Maybe this was one of them, but it wasn't the biggest reason. And he did learn a lot, including a gimmick, because the Rainmaker gimmick is just the Pope's gimmick. I don't know if anyone else sees that and just says, oh, yeah, of course. But it's glaringly there. He doesn't have a problem with TNA. He got a lot out of TNA. And it's cool to see him full circle back, and it's cool to see him say that as well. It's going to be whatever Snake Eyes is, however it's broken up, it's going to be dope. And I'm excited for that, man. Taylor Wilde is no longer on the roster, Taylor Wilde. I don't know about that. You guys know my suspicion on that, but I know she was injured as well. But Taylor Wilde with KiLynn, when the Coven was still together as tag team champions, taking on the then Knockouts champion of Deonna Purrazzo. Santino on commentary, and Deonna picks up the victory here. Really cool, man. Would love to see Taylor in TNA. It's fitting, man. But hopefully she's healthy, and maybe if she is, we're going to need a knockout Team Canada, so I'd like to see that. And hopefully Deonna's there as well. that's a given, you know. Last up, we're going to Memphis. Oh, there's a Shelley and Moose package as well to hype that up. But then we go to Memphis for Yuya's last match, and it's against Josh Alexander in a losing effort. But you can see the talent that is Yuya there, man. Love the... I don't know if it's progression. I just feel like he's just... Besides, I mean, Joya was a total, you know, different leap when it came to entertainment factor. But the dude's always been solid. But to see him from Black Trunks into what I call Super Saiyan Bobby Roode, Team Canada Bobby Roode, it's really cool. And he's going to be one of those people. And you don't do this for this reason. But when you plant those seeds and you nurture something, a plant or whatever analogy you want to use, if it's Sonata, if it's Okada, to a lesser extent, Ishimori, when they thrive elsewhere, and then they will come back and out of appreciation. And so I think Yuya is one of the aces in New Japan. I think he's going to be legit, and I think the day he comes back is going to be some big shit. So excited for that, but losing effort. See you later, Yuya, and hopefully Ray Walt can continue to joke him on commentary for losing his job. Oh, also shout out to the ticker. Love the ticker. And not only do I love the ticker showing the events because it's old TNA-ish, and I know we've had it from time to time, but how refreshing. I know it's the little things that I like to preach and applaud about, like a trained sheep seal. But the fact that we have venues just lined up, tickets for sale, it's so silly, but it's important. And it's a great step, man. We're going to get to some comments. Let's actually jump right into one of them. Or not comments, but yeah, I guess comments from PCO. Once again, that was Hidden Gem. I'm not going to rate the show. It was a good time to see those out-of-place matches, good wrestling, and some nice little nuggets and announcements. So enjoyed it. Once again, you can either be the person who's about it, they need live content, or you could just say, hey man, we're all going to wait for Hard to Kill regardless. Let's enjoy the ride. Let's look at the silver cloud, the silver lining of the cloud, and sit back and enjoy these little big things that they're giving us. One of which, is what PCO's saying here. I'm going to jump to that. It's a nugget from one of an interview he just did, where he's talking about the next step for TNA is bigger venues. And we could see that, man. I said that before. These cooler new venues, if it's the Palms or whatever it is, we got a few more coming up. Don't remember. But I remember looking at him and saying, oh, they have some character to them as well. So we're definitely going for something. And it seems like you got to let Lou D cook, because that's marketing and looking into those venues is part of his repertoire, man. So I like where we're going, and it's cool to see PCO say that. But what goated him, the goated comment, is that, you know, you don't have to be 40 million in the hole to grow. And I agree. That's what I preach, man. Look, this company, since they've taken over, have dealt in the black. I'm sure they received in the red, but they got us to the black, and they continue to spend that black. And that's what you want, man. For years, we wanted stability. We wanted this. It takes time. And I'm not going to make any doomsday whatever, but unbiased, transparent, and honest. TNA's here for the long haul, man. So we're in such a stable environment. And we'll talk about free agency again. But let's just plug the holes. Continue to plug the holes. Get it sturdy. Get it ready. No leaky, no leaks. And then we get that Christian-like signing to put us into that next stratosphere. So, but I love PCO saying that, man. That's good shit. And it's also a good sign to see these nuggets being dropped out there into the sheets. If it's for the 7-figure contract or this with PCO, things that say, hey guys, look, the best is yet to come. So I like that. As far as, let's hit up a couple things that happened. It felt like they were announcing, if it wasn't Vikingo, before that, it was Eddie's re-signing, which is great. Don't got much on that because, look, love Eddie. I always call him the franchise of Impact, and now he's the franchise of TNA. I don't expect him to leave. And I know it's kind of the same thing I said with Deonna when it's like, if they just stay, you take him for granted. But I don't take him for granted, man. I love Eddie, man. And the day when he goes back to his old music and everyone's singing along and Lish can make that face turn with him, it's going to be a glorious day, man. But I'm happy he's staying. Right before that, we got Kushida's signed, which means he's exclusive in the United States to Impact. Look, is it a, I think one hits on it, but if I jump ahead, I jump ahead. Quality dude, did it make me jump off my chair? No, because we do already see him, right? But to know we have him on a consistent basis compared to an excursion type thing would be nice. Hopefully the dates line up so I'm not eating my words there, because then this would be just a silly announcement. But the dude's talented. Do I think, we're talking about world title picture people we're filling here? I mean, Eddie, of course, is always in the consideration. But that's not what we're looking for. He's in this X Division match against Chris Sabin and Vikingo, and that fits, man. That works. There was a time not too long ago, but also, during the TNA days, where every segment was tackled by someone who's a future looking back star or an underappreciated talent that we all look back and say, damn, what if? So we could get back to that. And by filling holes like with Kushida, with Trent Seven, smart things. Build your keep your foundation, keep it sealed. The other thing I wanted to mention, as far as the sheets though, was Moose. He wants Lethal Lockdown back, and all I can say is, please, let's make it happen. I would love. Take a sip of water for two reasons. One, I need it. Two, I don't know. I was trying to not. Would you guys want Lockdown back in general? I'm talking every match is in a thing. It had its hits, it has its misses, has its oversaturation factor. I personally think if you do it right and you talk as a team and all the agents and you book it right, however it works, every match can tell a different story and it could be a damn good show. I think logistics have a lot to do with that. And I think venue has, that's all has to do with it. So we'll see. But either way, Lethal Lockdown, I'm with you, Moose. I hope we at least get to see that. But other than that, guys, I'm going to jump into your comments. Oh, TNA Plus is live. We got some, I won't say what in case, whatever. But we got some pictures of things prior that happened, or that end up getting, let me rephrase that. TNA Plus is live, I guess, on Android and iPhone now. Maybe fully, I'm not sure. But it was on other means prior. I don't know. Is it illegal? I don't know. Anyways, but there's some really cool stuff on it. So I was going to show up some screenshots and stuff as if it was like a whatever. Big surprise, but some of you might already be watching TNA, the new TNA Plus. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyways. We don't edit this shit. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit like and subscribe. But there's some really cool stuff on there, was my point. Finisher cuts. I love that, where there's all different wrestlers and just the stroke and the pounce. And oh my God, such fanboy stuff for me there. There was Before They Were Stars. I hate that it has a picture of AJ on there because AJ was always a damn star. But I get it. And Rivals, I think, was one or something like that. There's some really, or Bad Blood. Love it. I love what I see so far. And if you got, anyways, we'll move on. But really cool. I don't know if it's actually live. I know it's live on iPhone and Android. That's what I was saying. Knew about it prior because I thought someone was illegally getting it. Was what I was trying to not say. Throw anyone under the bus. Anyways, let's get to your comments. First up, we got Shadow Lanes 29. What's going on? They signed Kushida, which is nice, but at the same time, it's not somebody new going to the new TNA era. Notice that almost half of the wrestlers on Impact rosters are 40 and over. I know that most still can go in the ring, but still, besides Jake something, they don't have the next star. Just a lot of older mid-carders. I'll break this up because it's a little bit longer. Not true about the 40 thing. Check it out. Even if you include Eddie, who's about to turn 40, it's less than half. But I get your point. As far as other mid-carders, I think there's some they can build. I think there's going to be some that they bring in. But they might also... We'll talk about that. As far as the 40 thing, it's also not the same. And yes, I agree, as being a WCW guy who wanted the the young talent to be pushed up. Times are different. People could go into their 50s. It's a little different, but I get what you're saying. You got to build the new. So when that day unfortunately does come where you need some, I agree. But I think our roster is a little more diverse when it comes to age than that alludes to. I'm glad they are going to have a new ring announcer. The previous guy was just going through the motions, it seemed like. I love Penzer, man. We talked about that, but it is, the same with that. There comes a time when maybe he was ready to just call it. I don't think he ever phoned it in. I just think the dude put in work since maybe even before WCW. Forgive me for not knowing the history. But the dude crushed, man, for years. The original TNA, WCW prior. Always loved the voice of Penzer. But I do want someone who gets us hyped. There's so many people, man. Me and Lucha were talking about it. I miss Melissa. I miss that excitement of somebody saying more than just where they're from. Make these people seem like stars. It's a little big thing. All right. Dan Reddington 7449. Hey, what's up, buddy? I wouldn't mind Sami coming back, but the dude needs to lose some weight. He's been so slow the past couple months. I said that in a nicer way as well. Look, Sami's mind is just from marketing to everything he's involved in just has a different tone to it. I love Sami, man. He loves the Muppets. I love the Muppets. We love Ghostbusters. Come on, man. What's not to like about Sami? But I if he does return, OV not, or just in general, there's a lot he offers outside of just coming in and wrestling. But I would love for him to come in and be lean and just fuck shit up, man. To each their own. I mean, look, I'm not. Everyone can look, do whatever. I don't give a shit. Live your life. But as far as do I want him to come back and be balls to the wall Sami, I would prefer that. I'm with you there. All right. Demon Better 99. TNA has enough veteran wrestlers with EY, Kaz, Rhino, Tommy, Dirty Dango, and so on. They should have just re-signed Sami instead of this Santa Claus guy. Oh, because he's got a beard. The Snake Eyes matches look better than the Hard to Kill matches, even though we know Josh and Moose's groups are going to lose. I don't think so, man. Moose's might. That's fair enough, but Moose against the other side of Moose has Motor City Machine Guns. One's the heavyweight champion, one's the X Division champion at this point in time. So, yeah, I'll be okay. And then Josh versus Ospreay. It's hard for me to go against Tony Khan being a douche. And I just can't see him agreeing to this. But then again, does the New Japan thing fall into it? Does Ospreay's word, was this all worked out prior to the I'm signed bruv stuff? I don't know. So I'm excited, man. And for the sake of your happiness, man, I hope Josh wins. Do I personally care? Not so much because it's Ospreay, just the trajectory he's on. It's just, we're going to look back before they were stars and it'll be him at that first Wembley jobbing out to the Romans in 30 seconds or whatever the hell they ended up doing with him. Ospreay's a different level. So I'm okay with it, but I get it. I get it, but I want you to think optimistically here. You're the type of dude who hates Christmas music, aren't you, man? Anyways, love your Demon Better. Love all of you guys. Usually I would agree, but currently TNA needs some sort of star power. If they could sign Mercedes, that would be better than signing a bunch of random indie talents nobody knows. It depends. The indie talent that nobody knows, I don't know. It depends on... So many thoughts. I think you need to build your foundation. So if it is building and taking... I don't know, I was going to think of a real deep analogy, but look, if you have a place you're trying to be or where you think you'll be, eventually, once again, you start plugging those holes in, getting people on your trajectory along for the ride. There's this, I think Lucha said this, a lot of disgruntled fans on all different sides. If along the way you pull someone in because they're a fan of Trent Seven specifically, or Kushida being, full-time somewhere in the States, or not full-time, but you know what I mean, then so be it. Them are cool little things. They don't all have to be a Mercedes who may or may not bring somebody. Once again, would I want her on the roster? Yes. Do I want her in the locker room? I don't know. I don't know that dynamic. But I know that it's a very, I don't even know if lukewarm is the word, when it comes to the internet, and not the internet, and Mercedes. It's either people love her, they hate her. Wouldn't stop me from signing her, unless the hate was a little bit too loud. I went over this with the CM Punk stuff. But when you're giving someone that bag, I don't know if they're your locker room leader from that point forward, but they're sure as hell looked at. If Josh isn't the standard, then the person who has the biggest paycheck is, I don't want to say the standard, but the figurehead of that company, man. So that's a lot of responsibility. Is she the person you put it into? Who is that person? Is she... I don't know. We could debate that all day, but I wouldn't mind it. But is she that Christian-like signing? That's what we have to ask. Because I'm okay with it if we fill out the rest. Someone already alluded to the roster needs to be, whatever, filled up. And you mentioned the TNA veteran wrestlers. We already have enough. EYIC, if there is a Team Canada thing, or regardless, in more of a coach-like role. He's taken that mantle from Scott. Kaz still is going to do Kaz things, man, because he's Kaz. Rhino and Tommy, are we going to see that as often in TNA? I don't think so. Look, you got to think that this, I don't know. I just think the company listens, and they all want to do what's best for the product. And Rhino and Tommy and Spurts are great for it. But do you see them having a full-time schedule with us? As far as in front of the camera, I don't. And then Dango, as I already said, more Dango. But, let's just see how this plays out. Almost broke my talk, boy. All right, Jamie, stay ready. Hey, what's up, buddy? Could you see Vidal becoming more of a star than Shaw in 2024? I love Giselle. It's just that damned if you do, damned if you don't, man, with her. And it's an unfortunate position that she's in because of relationships and, everything. It's just, I feel, but the growth, the star power is there. I really feel that. So does Vidal in that time frame be past that? I don't know, because I think we see the belt around Giselle at some point. Some gold. I like Jay. Still young, but, and I say the word extra, but once he locks in and slows down, and he has a great look and has a look into the camera, once he gets that movement down and it's pan instead of all these different things, and it takes time, but he's definitely, I think, will be something. Is it beating Giselle on that race in 2024? I don't know, but both of them I can see is great talent. It would be great if alongside each other. I don't see there's a reason to break up the Shawtourage if used correctly. But anyways, should Gene, Price, and Shogun become a crew? Once again, if all three are still on board, I think Gene would be great in that Team Canada 2.0. As far as a group, tell me why they should be together. What do you know of all three that makes them seem like they should be together? I haven't seen enough to say that their personalities or their inner gimmick could work together. So you tell me why we're sticking them together, and we'll go that approach. But, all three talented. Got to see Price again. But I just, I want to see their personalities before we just say, you guys are all together. Gene, I think, once again, after Kenny leaving, he can find his own footing. Depends on what that is. I think a group would be great. I don't think this is the group, but getting Price back on TV on a more regular basis would be cool. And then Shogun, we haven't seen in forever. So I don't know if that gimmick works. So maybe a new gimmick would work. But once again, tell me why you think they'll be together, and then I'll tell you if I like it. But I appreciate your comment either way, buddy. Dobby the Brain, Heenan Ha, appreciate the shout out from Lucha. Sadly, couldn't make it live this week. Solid show as always. Great job, guys. All right. Hey. Love is love. I'm going to put that up there. Trey Hatchet, this is from the live. I wonder if Hammerstone will show up at Hard to Kill or the TV tapings. I hope so, man. That's one of those things when you say indie talent nobody knows. And I mentioned Kushida and Trent Seven. This is one of those signings that, yes, is it household name? No. Is that TNA's job to make it a household name? Yes. But does the dude have the talent to become one? I believe so, man. And that's one of those people that you bring in, and it's maybe there's disgruntled MLW fans. Maybe there's MLW fans who have a second and third show that they're not really fond of anymore and want to pick up another one. People like him coming into the company can grab some of them. So not only are you paying for a talent that's going on your television and knocking it out of the park, he's bringing a fan base with him that you prior didn't have. So he's the type of signings I think we should make. Does it happen? I don't know. I think WWE's getting its shit together and they'll get who they want. Shadow Lane's 29. So Delirious is doing creative. No wonder creative has been so boring that ROH style doesn't work for TNA. Do you think they change creative going into 2024? I don't think so. I think they are going to bet on themselves because at the end of the day, is it the most creative television show? No. But is it still a sound product that is slept upon and you want to stick with the people that have been bringing you to the dance, that have been knocking it out but haven't been getting the recognition? I think you do that. And I think they'll do it as a reward. So I think they'll stay as a creative team. Do I think they need some spice in there? Yeah. When it comes to bringing in talents that aren't signed, it's like when Tony Khan makes announcements, it's getting tiring after a while. Fans want to cheer for TNA wrestlers, not wrestlers that are only there for a few shows and leave. You know, I'm in between on that. Back in the day, I was so territorial. Like, these are, we need them signed forever. So I get that point of view. As I guess, get beat down, I'm just like, whatever. They're on my TV. At the same time, I would like to know, like, that's a TNA guy. It'd be cool to know that. Like, I can invest into that person because at the end of the day, I'm not giving up knowing what happens on the sheets and the rumor, so if you're in that world, you would like to know that, and they go hand in hand. So I'm with you, buddy. I'm there, especially if it's once again with the Vikingo thing. Cool, win the championship, get that buzz, first TNA X Division champion again. But what does that do 3 months from down the road? All right, Jamie, stay ready, back at it. What's a good outlook for Wentz in 2024? Damn, I'm hoping tag team champion. He's one of those guys when you say we don't have people under 40 that could become mid-card, I say wrong, because if you were to ever, excuse me, a little bit of Shane Douglas going on. If you bring in a Myron Reed permanently, you can do the free bird and make that tag team work. You can make X work. You can make the DMC work. You can make heavyweight title work or world championship work. But Wentz is one of those dudes that I think has the talent, has the look, has the presence, has that star power, just like Trey. The thing is I don't know. I feel like, I don't know why, and this is just in me. I don't know if it's me saying, the past and the TNA guy thing that I just mentioned, but I just don't know if he's locked in long term. I don't know. Maybe he is. I hope he is. But it feels like maybe they're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Maybe that's just the booking or what we've dealt with. Not dealt with, but the since he's been in here, it's been good stuff. And then now we're on they lost the titles quickly. We have all these episodes where anyways. I don't know. Do you think Jody will be a bigger star than KiLynn? Oof. I think they're both going to be super valuable knockouts, man. I just don't like, because it has I don't want the negative connotation to that though, or that brings. But I will say this. I think Jody definitely has an ODB. My music hits, the crowd gets behind her. She goes in there and does her thing and is just a different cat. As seen in IPWF as well. IPWF. Yeah, man, I enjoy her, man. I could see her as champion at some point in 2024. Tag first, maybe. And then we'll go from there. it's hard, man, because I see KiLynn as, I don't know. I can't even think of a comparison, and maybe that's just answers the question. I think KiLynn's a mold of her own, man. Looks the part, walks the part, talks the part, is ready, as much as I love the Coven, to be her own thing and be a star. So if I had to say who it is, I think it's KiLynn, especially when it comes to that stick. But man, the 5 seconds I spent in FanFest, she was at the table to the right, and just what a presence, man. So I just, star. And last but not least, as we hit minute 40, thank you guys for sticking around. I hope this brought some joy to you in this craziness that is the holiday season. On a slow week for Impact Wrestling when it comes to the show. We'll keep doing this. I'll keep you updated. But either way, thank you. Let's hit this last one from Roger Pace. I know Scott D'Amore has expressed the importance of Impact soon to be TNA of having a video game, but I may have found the company that can make it Rockstar Games, because after seeing the realistic graphics of GTA, this would be a perfect route for a TNA game. And I know there was a bunch more comments. Make sure we keep it kind, guys. We can have different opinions. I don't know if it was bad or not, but I'm just saying I know there was, just in general. Yes, I want TNA to have a video game. I think that's another one of those things that picks up people just by having it. I'm a huge 2K fan, NBA 2K, and just the amount of people that love that game and now are fans of basketball because of that. It's a new age. It is what it is. But then have found basketball through that. They have some stupid opinions, like Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas has the greatest jump shot. I'm like, anyways. But either way, they found basketball through gaming. So I believe that market's out there for TNA as well, especially since only 16 people were playing AEW Fight Forever last month. So I think the market's there, but there's a lot that goes into it. Do I think it's Rockstar Games? I don't know enough about that industry, but I'll tell you, if they're making GTA, I doubt they're making TNA. But I think they can have some really... I think they could find something, man. But it's one of those things where this isn't... I hate to use this, but as PCO said, we're not going to go 40 million in the hole trying to grow it. So when the time comes, we'll make it. If we're going to pay to play with Rockstar Games, I don't think that's the way to go. But I could see why with the realistic graphics, because if you go back and check the original TNA game, the graphics still hold up. Beautiful stuff, man. Either way, guys, I hope this held up. I hope you guys held up listening to me. I appreciate you, even when I'm trying to figure stuff out as I talk about what's new. Either way, it's friends shooting the shit. I thank you. Keep shooting the shit. Send the comments. I thank all of you, even if we have different opinions. I hope I did it well and was a friend in the process. Either way, guys, thank you. I appreciate you. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Check out everything else on this channel. Check out all the other Impact Wrestling content creators out there. Grow this community. Let's keep that buzz going into Hard to Kill. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. If I don't see you for the holidays, Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. That just happened. Merry Kwanzaa. I don't know. Happy Festivus. Whatever you celebrate. Thank you for coming out. God bless and good night. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.